Considered by many as one of the most important things that you can do as an upgrade to your car is anything where the driver connects to the car. And what I mean by that is your steering wheel, your shifter, the points of engagement in which your physical body connects with the car. And when we talk about the Acura, we talk about the steering wheel, which we upgraded and rewrapped in nice leather. And now we're talking about the shifter. And with the shifter, there's a great experience that is undeniable with Honda shifters. They're very tight, very notchy, which is a great feel to have. But can it be better? And that's the question that we're going to answer today. So today we're going to take a look at the Hybrid Racing Shifter Linkage bearing and replace the bushings to see if it improves that connection between driver and vehicle. So with any manual or traditional three-pedal car, you have 3 points of contact. You have your hands on the steering wheel, you have your hand on the shifter to engage the gears, and you have your foot on the clutch. One of the great things about having that 3-point contact is it really engages you as a driver, and you, with the car, become actually an active participant in driving, which is one of the thrills about having a manual car. With Hondas in particular, because their manual transmissions and shifters are such a great high quality, they're tight, they're crisp, they're notchy, you get that really nice engagement, and they're really on par with, say, higher quality cars such as Porsche. And this is not something that I'm just speaking to, it's actually well known in the automotive industry. So when we push in the clutch, we engage the gear, and we get this nice notchy feeling. And it's tight. There's not a lot of play there, but you can see that there is some play. So the question I have, after 100,000 miles of shifting through all of these gears, have those bushings that tie the shifter, the shift linkage to the transmission worn out? And by replacing those with a conical style bushing and bearing assembly, you can really see if there's a tangible difference. They're new, but they're also allowing for a nice crisper shift. So the question I have is, if we install those today, the Hybrid Racing bearings and bushing, are we going to actually enhance this, or is it better to go with OEM? So I thought it would be good to show you what we're actually talking about on the car. So if you look here, and I'll see if I can show you, we have your shift linkage. You got 1 and 2. These are cable actuated shifter linkages, and you can see here that we have one assembly right there, and we have another assembly right there. Now the larger one gets replaced with a conical style bushing, and the smaller one gets replaced with just a hard bushing. But you can see that they're fairly simple to get to. They're also fairly simple to install, which we'll go through, but this is what we're actually talking about. And I'll see if I can get a better angle on the bigger one here. There we go. So you can see that there's this bearing at the top, and we have the bearing, the bushing at the bottom. And these are just basically hard plastic rubber assemblies that you can easily pop out. You have a weighted system over here. Right here. So this is a weighted component, and you can see how it just moves, and now I'm into a gear, and now I can shift it out of that gear, and it's fairly simple. So we're going to replace those with the new Hybrid Racing bushings to see if there's any performance difference. Okay, so here's our Hybrid Racing bearing. So I just showed you this on the car. And here's the smaller one that goes adjacent to the larger one. And then you have 2 new lock rings and some washers that go with it. So how does this assembly work? So to do that, I brought up the book here. So this will give you the torque specs and everything that you would want for this anyways. But here you can see that we have 2 cables They go in, drop into two basically dowels, if you will, some pins, and they slide over it basically like this, and then you put your washers on there, your lock pins, and then you basically can bolt everything down. What will be interesting to see is, can we do this without taking everything out? I'd like to see if we can, but I fear that we might have to at least detach these lock pins here that hold this in place. I don't think we have to do the bolts, but here's the torque specs on everything anyways, just in case you guys are wondering. So let's go ahead and get started on this and see if we can get this installed today. So we're going to start by working on the smaller one here, and you can see I just took the pin and bent it. It's pretty easy to bend with your hand, and then we're going to see if we can wiggle this loose. And it comes out pretty easy with just hands, it looks like. So let me see if I can get some tools. All right, you can see we got the pin out, and we're going to take the top. So we just took those two washers off. Let's go ahead and see if we can slide this up. It took some force to get that off, but you can see that it is actually off now. And we'll have to see what it takes to get that bushing off now. It seems like that's going to be harder to get off the pin. Okay. So we finally got that off. So here is the bushing that's showing up for you. And basically, there it is. Basically, it's just a rubber bushing, as you can tell. I can squeeze it, and it just slides over that pin ever so slightly. So we're going to go ahead and replace that now. What we have to do now is insert our new bushing into the cable and put the retaining clip on it. So putting in the retaining clip is probably going to be the most difficult because I don't have the cable detached. So I'm just basically trying to do this with everything on the car, and that might not, this might be the point where, you know, it doesn't work out for me. But we have to essentially just pull this little washer apart and attach it to the bottom. Okay, what I found that was the easiest way to install that retaining clip on the bottom was to rotate the assembly upside down and actually put it on the post, the peg, upside down, and then put the clip on and then reinstall it right side up. And now it stays in there just fine. So now what we're going to do is put a little grease on this post so that that it is lubricated nicely before reinstalling it. We're having a little difficulty getting that on. Alright, so clearly this one from Hybrid Racing isn't the right size. So what I ended up having to do was hollow it out with some bits, and it ends up being, let me tell you, a 31/64 size drill bit. And so I incrementally worked my way up to this, and now it slips over just fine without any issue. So there's definitely an issue from Hybrid Racing on this bushing. This bushing does not fit out of the box. I tried hammering it on, and I knew that that wasn't going to work. And so now we're at a wider opening diameter to get this to work. So now we have to go back and basically reinstall it. We'll put the washer on there. And the other thing I would say is hold on to your OEM bushing, because apparently it could get a little dicey. There's only one way to do this, and if you do it wrong and you make it too wide, you're basically defeating the purpose. And you're going to want to put that OEM bushing back on. I think this is probably one of the least performance sections of this upgrade anyway, so that's not the biggest deal if you stuck with OEM. Alright, so we've got the Hybrid Racing bushing installed, as you can see here, right over there. It is installed. So we had to do some slight modifications to it, but now it is installed. Alright, so we've got the larger one off the actual shift linkage for the transmission. As you can see here, it's just the bushing and the cable that is detached. In this one, it's the same process. You have your spacers, and then it's all held together with a nut. So basically now I have to get the bushing out of this one, which does appear to be a little bit different just because there is some lip that's around this. So we're going to try to get that off here. Okay, so I was able to separate the bushing from the actual cable housing. What I found was the best solution for this was a pocket flathead. The pocket flathead was able to insert between the metal and the bushing of the rubber bushing, and basically just pry it on it, and it slipped right through. So now we have to install the hybrid bearing. Final installation. It's a little bit hard to see because it's dark in there, but you've got the Hybrid Racing bushing and now the bearing in there. So let's go ahead and see if it makes any difference. Alright, we're back in the car now. We've got our new hybrid bushing for the shifter set up, and let's see if it makes any difference. Kind of just seating it right now, making sure it can go through the full motion. What I would say is initially I don't feel a lot, but when we drive it, let's see if we feel anything different. Alright guys, I apologize for the video here. You're not going to be able to really see my face because I want you to be able to see the shifter. Hopefully you can see the shifter, from what I can tell, you can. So this is the second part of the Hybrid Racing bushing install, where we actually see, does it make a difference? And I would say initially out of the box, no. It doesn't make a difference. And that's why I didn't film this immediately after I installed it, because I knew there was going to be a break-in period. And that's important to note, is that when you install bearings, they're initially really tight. They have really tight clearances on bearings. So they have to be like worked in a little bit before they can actually be like beneficial and feel normal. So this is approximately 4 weeks after the install. And 4 weeks after the install, it's a wonderful shifter feeling. I would highly recommend this. So what I noticed was that you hit every gear every single time without any sticking. And what I was struggling with was the 4th to 5th gear engagement. So I would, rev it out, I would hit from 4th to 5th, and then it would feel like it was hard to get into that gear. And I thought maybe it was transmission related, but now I know it's definitely bushing related. That bushing must have been binding, must have been slowing down the cable actuation into the 5th gear from the 4th gear. 6th to 5th was fine, it was always just 4th to 5th. So important to know there is that this makes sure that you hit every gear, and it's a smooth transition too. It's very notchy. It's very like, smooth, and then click click, and then click click. Like that engagement that you really desire in a car. It feels great. So we'll just do a couple quick shift points here as soon as this traffic clears, and then you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. It's very like boom 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 boom. And so for, I think it's about $60 this kit costs, if I recall correctly. I think that it's a money well spent, let's put it that way, because your bushings are about 20 years old, right? So unless you're greasing them, there's a high probability that they're binding. Right there, see? So it's very like and you don't have to worry about it engaging. So that concludes this video, guys. I hope you like the install. I hope you like the modification. It's a shame that Hybrid Racing doesn't have these accurately manufactured for the smaller bushing, but the spherical bushing is direct install, no problem. The other bushing, you do have to do a little modification, as you saw in this video. So I hope you guys like this video. We'll do a couple more videos similar to this about install driving it.